Here we go.
Do you have an intro?
I mean, no, I don't. Usually Andrew takes care of the intros.
This is awkward. Welcome to a Mach7.
Welcome to a pod.
Welcome to a podcast. My name is Travis. We are missing a vital part of our trio here because I also have Mr. Badur with me.
Yo.
Also known as Chris on here.
Yep, that's mostly what I'm known as.
And Topher on his insurance cards.
No, that's actually not what I'm known as on my insurance cards.
But like I was saying, more importantly, Andrew is not here with us because he is in some type of sports event.
I don't believe that.
He's actually going to go play another team in a sport.
Is it going to, what if somebody runs into him and, breaks him in half, though?
It's basketball. So that's where he excels. He's taller than everybody.
Yeah, but people can run into you in basketball.
Yeah. Well, this is awkward.
Yeah. So you won't be able to enjoy the dulcet sounds of his soft, squealy voice.
No, that's
tonight.
not why. I'm just looking at you now. That's really weird.
Yeah. I mean, I can look to the side and bitch about when the bell happens in 30 minutes if we're still here.
So more importantly, Chris, back to the podcast. Tell me, what do you have to talk about?
Well, there was one thing that happened a month ago that has to do with Magic the Gathering. So if you want to hear about that.
Yeah, sure, why not? Go ahead.
Okay, so.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, Magic just came out with a new set, right?
Yeah, dude, I'll be. Oh, that's what he kicks every time.
Now we know!
All right, go ahead.
And as part of the story for the set, because, apparently you can't have a card game without a story. The story for Go Fish is rather tragic, but anyway.
Can you start off with that? I really want to know that and then follow it up with a story of Old Maid.
Shit, now I have to make up a story for Go Fish. So, it's like the fish just want to love you, but...
All right, go back to your other story. This is not as good.
No, it's not. And as part of the story...
of Magic or Go Fish?
Magic. In this particular set, block, I guess it is. It's called Khans of Tarkir. It takes place on Tarkir. And there are 5 Khans.
Is that a planet?
It's a plane. So, I guess technically, yes.
Okay.
There are 5 Khans. I mean, I'm assuming you know what a Khan is.
Mongolian ruler.
Yeah, like Genghis Khan. Yeah.
Oh, was I right?
Yeah!
Oh! I thought I was just being a smartass.
No, the set is actually based around that region.
The game or just your plane?
Tarkir, the plane.
Okay.
Is
based around...
The 5 factions are based around...
Ancient...
Yeah.
Eastern empires?
Yeah.
Okay.
East Asian empires around that time.
That's awesome.
Mardu is equivalent to the Mongols around that point in time. Abzan is China around that point in time. Temur is people up in Russia, because that's technically part of East Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Jeskai are Shaolin monks, and Sultai are evil Indian people, because they're evil for some reason.
Wow. This is very informative. Please keep going.
So, there was a bit of controversy that was sparked up.
Oh no, what were the drawings like?
What drawings?
On the cards. Were they quite offensive?
No, it actually
okay.
does not. Well, it kind of does, but we'll get into that. It doesn't have to do with the drawings on the cards.
No.
What happened was, as part of their lore building on the Magic website, they write articles about, individual characters in the storyline of whatever block they're in. One of the storylines, there's So the current Khan in the set we're in of the Mardu, the Mongolian people, is Alicia who smiles at death. Who...
That's one name?
Alicia, comma, who smiles at death.
Okay.
So who smiles at death is like a title.
Okay.
And, presumably she was female.
Okay.
Like,
what's the problem with that?
There's no problem with that.
Oh, okay. I thought this was where the controversy came in.
No, the controversy comes in later.
Oh my gosh, suspense killing me.
So, during their lore writing article, there were a few lines in the article, because they're talking about her backstory and how she rose to power as the Khan of the Mardu, who are pretty much the most powerful people on the plane at this point in time. And there are a few lines that got people thinking, it sounds like she might be transgendered. Male to female.
Alright.
And then Wizards came...
Was that the controversy?
Yeah, that was the controversy, is Wizard publicly announced that, she's male to female.
Oh. Well, that's progressive.
Yeah.
What was the public reception of it?
Mixed. I mean, you got a lot of people who are like, yeah, progressivism. You got a lot of people who are like, boo, they're just doing this to look good. And I don't really care about the decision because, it's good that they're being progressive and it doesn't affect the mechanics of the game at all, but I tend to agree that it kind of is a publicity stunt, because if you look at the 5 cons from the previous set, there are 3 male cons and 2 female cons. And what ended up happening with this next set is the genders of all the cons were switched. So you ended up with 3 female cons and 2 male cons. Maybe it's the other way around. Point is, their genders are switched. And the Mardu Khan used to be male, so it would make the new Mardu Khan is now female. Which, I'll get into politically correct politicness with that later. And if you look at all of the art and all of the articles about Alicia previous to this one article with the vaguely ambiguous wording towards them, it's very clear that they were intended to be biologically female. Like, the art on their particular card is sort of androgynous, but that's mostly because they're wearing a shit ton of armor and are wearing a helmet, as warriors tend to do. But if you look at some of the other art that she is depicted in, she has very distinctly feminine features, like a slight hourglass figure and tits. So, to me, the evidence points to the fact that she was female, biologically female, rather, and that Wizards is trying to capitalize on looking progressive by being like, oh, well, yeah, you guys think she might be transgendered? Yeah, that's totally what we were going for. You know what I'm saying?
Is it bad that they do a publicity stunt, though?
No, I don't think it's bad
that
they do a publicity stunt. Initially I had some thoughts about it that, one, I heard about it when I was drunk, so after having some time to, think about it, like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, what does it matter? It really doesn't change the character at all. And it provides a good role model, but I think it's kind of depressing how other people are pretty pissed on it. Like, what I find funny is there are some people on the internet, so it's not really the best place to evaluate humanity, but who they're looking at the issue and it's like, I disagree with this because it's more important for Wizards to have female role models who are biologically female but have masculine personality traits and have male role models who have female personality traits than it is to have a transgendered character. And it's like, that is total bullshit, because Wizards is pretty subtle with their progressiveness. They're not coming out being like, look at how progressive we are all the time, which, you know, some people do. But they've had, like, advocation in their story for, you know, men with traditionally female traits and women with traditionally male traits, and they've had heroic gay couples for, like, 10 years. Like, there's this barbarian queen, who... She's not, you know, a main character, but she's on the good side from 10 years ago, who has, like, 8 wives. And, you know, and even if you just look throughout the set, we have a bunch of kick-ass females who are, you know, leading armies. And the one slightly feminine male is, you know, evil, which does say something about tropes in our society. But it's like, no, you can't make the argument that you need more strong female role models and less transgendered ones when in the past 3 months there are like 5 other strong female role models that are in this storyline. So, I mean...
So I on that's a great segue of talking about gender.
Oh, cool.
And you know how a couple weeks ago I talked about how they're redoing Ghostbusters? Were you there?
I remember I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
Because we were talking about switching male leads to female.
Right, exactly.
And you wanted females in Brokeback Mountain.
I think it's only fair. Gender equality.
Gender equality.
And it's progressive.
It is progressive.
So, following that, I just heard on the radio today that they're thinking about bringing back MacGyver.
Okay.
The twist being that they're going to have a female lead. It's really cool, number one, because the idea that they're doing behind it is that they're, when it was the male MacGyver, the creator would constantly get feedback from all these people. Like, he'd get letters, and whenever he would go like to conferences and that type of stuff, he would hear from the audience about how they chose to go to college and pursue sciences. Many of them from minority demographics.
Right.
Went to college and pursued a science degree, engineering degree, or high-level science, which is amazing. So they're going to try to reproduce that now using a female lead to try to convince more females to go into the sciences, which is just, that's awesome.
Yeah, no.
So, but I was trying to think of, you know, how I thought of movies that would be excellent if we swapped it. I'm trying to think of TV shows. And I really can't think of that many. That if we were to switch the male lead to a female.
You see, now I'm stuck on, like, science shows, though.
Bill Nye was pretty great.
Bill Nye was pretty great.
But I can't think of anything, like, at first I was, like, thinking Home Improvement with Tim Allen. But I'm like...
But I mean...
That's not... Like, all those family shows, it's just like the wife taking the center role instead. That doesn't make...
Not only is that... But, I mean, let's be real. That honestly be casting the female in the more negative life because, like, light... Because
back in that day...
Yeah, if you look at all of those sitcoms, you know...
Back then.
Dads are dumb.
Right. Everybody Loves Raymond, King of Queens.
Yeah.
All those good ones back then, and now we have trash. I really couldn't think of many.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think would be funny, but would probably be really dumb, would be Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Have 4 smart women and then 1 dumb guy, which would absolutely work. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think it'd be as funny.
I mean, the only one I guess I could think of would be like, I haven't actually...
Spartacus? Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
I haven't actually seen the show, so this
Me neither.
Probably,
I just came to Netflix. I'm pretty excited, actually.
No, the show is going to talk about I haven't seen.
No.
Haven't seen the show, you know. It's big enough that I've heard about it. Like, maybe like How I Met Your Mother, if you switched roles around there. So, like, Barney would be a woman, and you'd have...
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah.
Next thing. So... I wasn't supposed to be here today. I wasn't even supposed to be on this cast.
Oh, wow.
Today.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing you showed up, because I couldn't stay here in a room and talk to myself.
So, like I said, I was supposed to be here. I'm actually supposed to be downstate because I just got accepted to grad school, like I told you, a few of the people in the group last week. And I was supposed to be down this weekend to interview for graduate assistantships, which basically means I'll be working in an academic department, like financial aid or something like that. Wait, so
you're not grad schooling here?
No. I'm finishing my bachelor's here.
Okay.
So.
Where are you grad schooling at?
Grand Valley State University.
I've never heard of it.
It's Lower Peninsula, West Michigan.
Okay. I mean, you didn't say U of M, so I don't have to hate you.
Oh. Are you a state fan?
No, but I just hate U of M.
Why?
Because
they didn't accept you?
No, I didn't apply for U of M.
Oh, me neither.
I only applied to this school, and then they were like, hey, we're going to accept you a year early. Yeah, they accepted me in my junior year of high school and threw money at me.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's awesome. But anyway, so I was supposed to go down, and so yesterday I packed my vehicle in the morning with my dog, and we left. And it was a beautiful morning. You know, not cloud in the sky. It was nice and sunny out.
Yep.
Frigid. Like, it was so cold that when, like, my dog was panting, all the condensation got on the windows and immediately froze.
I love that.
Which was a pain in the ass. So, like, I have to have all, like, the fans be going to defroster so my feet and myself are freezing cold.
Yeah.
But my windows are warm.
Just gotta hug up against the windows, man.
So, I was driving, and suddenly when I got to the lakeshore, weather just took a dive. And it was so bad. It was straight sheen of ice and snow. And it was kind of busy, so I was like traveling in a herd of 6 cars.
Mm-hmm.
And what made it even worse is that you drive right along the lakeshore, but there was a bunch of wind, like really high wind speeds coming off the lakeshore, and it was taking all this really dry, cold powder, like sugar snow.
Yep.
And just blowing it all over.
Right across the road.
So I'm going to insert a picture here of what it was like in those conditions. You couldn't see more than a car length ahead of you.
Oh, yeah. No.
So we're doing this, and, like, I normally am really cool and calm because I've done this many times, this drive back and forth during the winter. But, like, this time, I'm panicking. I don't know why. Like, my palms are getting really sweaty and everything. I'm actually having to wipe them off like I'm meeting a girl for the first time or something like that.
Question is, because it's your windows that are warm and nothing else.
That's true.
Are your palms freezing?
No. Surprisingly. But, so we were driving along in this herd, and all of a sudden, like, I'm the third car back. And all of a sudden, the cars in front of me just scatter through the whole entire road. And so, like, I didn't have time to stop because all of a sudden it's just... Because you can't see more than a car length ahead of you. And I want to be able to see the car so that if they're stopped, I want to be able to stop. And I don't want to accidentally veer onto oncoming traffic because with the snow and the ice the way they are, they perfectly fill in the grooves of the rumble strip. Yeah. There's no way to know where you are.
Oh, yeah.
It is that terrifying to drive. So I'm following the person, like, okay, if they're going to oncoming traffic, they're going to get hit first before me. That's my logic. Well, all of a sudden, it's just, boom, everybody stops. The car in front of me veers into the oncoming traffic lane. The car in front of him is stopped in our lane. And then there's a car on the right shoulder that's just parked in the snow. And so I hit my brakes, and the car behind me was being a jackass. They were so close. So, like, I'm going, my ABS are going off, my tires are locked up on the snow.
Yep.
And the car behind me just lightly taps my back end. Just slow. And all of a sudden, I go sideways. And I'm going sideways about 40 miles per hour. My rear driver's side, like where the gas, gas lid is, goes right into the back of the rear corner of a pickup truck. I bounce off that and go right into the ditch.
Holy shit, man.
Are
you all right?
No. I actually, this morning, I hurt so bad, I felt like a bug on its back trying to get out of bed. Like, my ribs are killing me right here, my neck, my shoulders. But anyway, so there's more to the story, just besides that contact.
Okay.
So I go in, I'm stuck. I get myself unstuck. By the time I get myself unstuck, the guy had gotten out of his vehicle and comes over. Hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. Are you guys okay? Like, yeah. Like, there's basically no damage. I think I broke his like light cover, so like the red cover is broken, and I think a little bit of the bumper. My car kind of messed up. I'm gonna insert the picture of the damage here. Boop. All right. So, anyway, so we swapped information, and he said, why he stopped, a Jeep Liberty was driving really fast, and they lost control and like coming towards us, lost control and spun out in front of him, so he had to stop. Yeah. And the car that was behind him was so close because you cannot see. You want to be able to, we had our four-ways on and everything, went into the oncoming traffic, and so he's like, I'm not surprised. But the car behind me, of course, just kept going.
What a fucking douche.
But the wife of the guy who I made contact with, she called the cops to go get a police report right away. And they're like, okay, we'll be there. And so I get myself out, and I just pull up behind him. Well, in the meantime, a tow truck had gone the other way and then just parked behind me because he wanted to know if there was anybody in the vehicle that was on the shoulder of the road that was pretty buried. And I said, I don't know. Well, he's over there talking to the car in front of me. All of a sudden, a big SUV hits the back of his tow truck.
Holy shit!
And then a vehicle behind him goes into the ditch to the right of me.
Jesus Christ, man.
And then a semi-truck hits the vehicle behind that. And then about a dozen more collisions happen through like this hour and a half that we were waiting for the police report. Plus vehicles, I'm watching them just go past me, slide around, do donuts, and go into the ditch on the other side. And, like, I'm just seeing people with broken, front ends and back ends just driving by. People are coming up to my window. Are you the one that hit me? Because you can't see. You can't see who hit you. You see them make contact and they drive. And, like, they pull over, but they're like, were you the one that rear-ended me? Nope, I rear-ended this guy. Sorry.
I rear-ended this guy an hour ago.
So, I'm sitting there, and we're right off the lakeshore, so my vehicle is, like, any moisture that, like, the wind's coming full force. Tow trucks are pulling vehicles out of the ditch. They closed the road about an hour and 20 minutes in. Like, they literally... I was like, why aren't there any cars going by? Well, I see a truck that had a trailer that had those orange do not enter big, huge roadblocks. And it said, road closed M28. They closed the entire road from Munising to Marquette.
Jesus Christ,
30 miles.
Man.
So, like, and I'm watching people leave. I mean, people getting pulled out by tow trucks. And, like, my vehicle is just getting coated in ice. It's just freezing. And, of course, my dog has to be let out. He was fine. I was fine. The people in the car were fine. But, finally, like, after an hour and a half, we're waiting for the police report. Like, a bunch of people have left. They come up to my window. They're like, are the police coming? And I'm like, yeah, we called them. They're like, okay, we're just wondering because we want to get a police report. And, like, what was even the scariest part of this all? People are getting out of their vehicles to talk to people or go, like, try to get out and that type of stuff. I'm like, get in your vehicle, you dumbasses!
Get fucking hit, man.
Have you seen YouTube where, like, people get out of their cars and, like, they get hit or something like that?
Yeah.
That's why, like, police want you to, like, pull over in a parking lot or something like that. So I'm freaking out. There's, like, this old lady that went in the ditch, like, right across from me. You can see the picture here. That old lady comes out of her car and she's yelling at me and the guy in front of me. Can you help me out? And I'm like, no. I wanted to help the old lady, but she's on the opposite side of the road and nobody can see me. So she had to get a tow truck. But so after an hour and a half, the guy comes back. He goes, so yeah, we called them back and the police decided they're not going to make it out. They just closed down the road instead and they told the tow trucks to tell us that we can either leave with them escorting us out or we can leave. Like, I'm glad they told us. So I'm sitting there for an hour and a half for no reason to get a police report. He's like, well, since we made the call, I have to go to the sheriff's office to get the report anyway. I'll go get it. I was like, that's cool. I'm turning around. I'm leaving. So in the meantime, I had to call where I was going to get my interviews done at my grad school and be like, so, yeah.
There were just like 12 car crashes that I was involved in. So
I'm going to have to do it next weekend. And they're like, that's totally cool. Be safe. So
is your car going to be in good enough shape to go down there? Or?
Oh, yeah. You'll see the pictures in the video, but basically, It's just kind of where the rear gas cap is looks okay from like when the door's shut.
Yep.
But you open up the door, you just see just metal bent and everywhere. It drives fine. It just the door doesn't open and close.
So it's just a frame issue. Okay.
Yeah. So on my drive back, it was weird. Like it was blue sky and everything. But the weirdest part about it is there's nobody on the road since the road's closed. It felt like post-apocalyptic. Like all it is just white all over because like the snowstorm came by.
Yeah.
Like it's clear, so like everything's just white. And I'm just driving and I don't see anybody for 30 miles. It was so weird. So that happened. I came back and, you know, I told my family they're fine. My mom's crying. Oh, you can't come down next week. It's not going to be any better. I'm like, well, I got to make an attempt down. I want to get a job. But so today, I get a call from Munising. And I answer, hello? Hello, is this Mr. Slaughter? Yes. Hello, I'm Officer How are you doing today?
That's a very interesting last name.
Oh, I'm good. How about you? Oh, good. I'm just calling because I have to do this. I'm like, oh. You gonna give me a ticket? Are you kidding me? He's like, well, I just have to run through the... I didn't actually say that. He's like, I just have to go through the process, you know. I just need to get your side of the story for the police report and all that kind of stuff.
And then he gave you a ticket.
Then after that, he's like, you know what? It was, you know, you weren't the only one that this happened to. This, you know, it was, I'm just going to write this up as no fault. The other party agreed. So I didn't get a ticket, thank goodness.
Well, that's good at least.
I was like, it wasn't my fault. There was a jackass behind me, tapped me. So I would have been fine. I mean, I hope. But that's what I told the cops. So that was that's been my past couple days. So
that sounds awful.
Yeah. So I wanted to see Andrew and Abby's reaction to that, but now I won't get to. They robbed me of that.
Well, you know, I'm sure they're going to listen to the podcast and comment on it.
Absolutely. Just like everybody else does.
Everybody.
All 7 people.
All 7 people. They're the 7 best people.
They are. Thank you, our 7 listeners.
I'm in the Travis chair now, so I'm just feeling the listener love.
See? Doesn't it feel good? I'm going to call you Sweet Tea.
That's okay.
You feel the love, dude. Psychedelic love.
Well, there are psychedelics in this chair?
You don't feel it?
No.
I mean, no, there's... Oh, psychedelic. Anyway, so, you're up to bat.
I am up to bat. I actually...
Top that story.
If we have time, which I'm sure we do, I have a car story of my own. Happened a couple years ago, though. So, I mean...
That's fine.
So, freshman year up here, so it was 2 years ago.
I want a beard so bad.
They can be a pain in the ass.
Oh, I know, but it doesn't look good for my profession. That's why I don't have one, but it's so cold out. My face gets so cold so fast. Keep going.
The issue with the beard is it's been cold enough the last couple days that, like, the goatee area has been freezing. Like,
yeah, imagine having no fur.
But what's worse? Like, just the frost... Okay, yeah, the frostbite on your face is worse. Anyway, so... Freshman year, so 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I don't know anybody up here because I'm a freshie. But I meet a group of friends. And...
Rough crowd.
What?
Rough crowd.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
how it starts.
We just kind of like go around kicking people in the shins all the time. I mean, we'll strap puppies to our feet. And...
No, that's not what you do. Keep going.
So... This one evening, it's like 10:30 at night.
Well, it's past your bedtime.
It actually was. But yeah. Because I've got class at like 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And I get a call from this guy. And, you know, I answer my phone and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, yeah, so my grandmother died a few days ago, and I had to go out of state for the funeral. And I had to go by airplane, and I'm supposed to be getting in from I was supposed to be getting in at the Houghton Airport 3 days ago, but because of weather, there are no flights going into the Houghton Airport for the entire week. And
that sounds about right for Houghton.
Yeah. And I need somebody to pick me up at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning in Green Bay, Wisconsin, because that's the closest flight coming in.
So you have to drive to Wisconsin because the weather is too bad to fly.
Yes.
Please keep going. This is interesting.
So, at first,
Titillating.
I'm
Stimulating.
like, but I have homework and, I do a bunch of bullshit stuff and start out as an asshole. He's like, but
Puppies.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Easy puppy eyes and you're like, you don't know what I do to puppies. Keep going.
And, but eventually I call him back. I'm like, okay, I'll fucking do it.
Like a bro.
Like a bro. And there's that fucking bell.
I didn't even notice until you said it. Thanks. Way to be a bro.
Well,
Way to be an alpha.
It had only rung once, so gotta point it out. It's that super sensitive hearing. So, it's about 11 o'clock at night when I tell him that, okay, I'll do it. So, we've got to figure out, first, where the hell he's going to get into. Because his flight changes from going to Duluth, Minnesota, and Green Bay 3 times over the next hour of conversation I have with him.
Wait. Run that by me again?
His flight changes from either going to Green Bay or Duluth, Minnesota 3 times over the next hour.
Oh my gosh.
And finally it locks in on Green Bay.
Which I think is closer, right?
They're both about the same. I think Duluth might be slightly faster.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's like 2 hours to Duluth and like 3 to Green Bay or something.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a big difference, though. It's 33%.
That is 33%, but when you're used to living downstate and driving up here, an hour doesn't really mean much.
You're right. I found that out yesterday.
Yeah.
Please continue.
We figure out, okay, I gotta get to Green Bay. And his flight is coming in at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I have to leave at like 6 o'clock in the morning to give myself enough, to hedge my time to get myself enough time to get there. So I empty my savings account to give myself enough money in case, so I can get to, Green Bay. Because he's going to pay me back. Which he does.
Spoiler. Great.
Yeah, no. No, I'm still friends with this guy.
Oh, good.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I try to go to sleep, and I get 4 hours of sleep.
Why?
Because I couldn't fucking sleep.
Oh.
So I'm like, great, now I've got to go. I'm going to get 6 hours of sleep, and then I have to go to Green Bay in the morning. That's not part of the plan. And I have trouble getting to sleep. Fun fact.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's because of all the ladies.
Oh, they keep you up. I get you.
Yeah. So,
if you're listening, we miss you. Keep going.
So,
I'm just going to take that out.
I wake up at, like 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever, go to Walmart, buy myself a 24-pack of Mountain Dew, start chugging.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't break the seal.
What seal?
Keep going.
No, I won't.
Anybody who drinks alcohol is going to understand that reference, but never mind.
But I wasn't drinking alcohol, I was drinking Mountain Dew.
I know, and I realize you're a minor, so you never drank alcohol before.
I'm not a minor.
I know.
We just had a conversation about how I might be an alcoholic, Travis.
When did we discuss that? Mountain Dew-aholic.
No.
Am I right?
No, it was a couple podcasts ago.
Oh, do you think I'll listen to what you say?
I mean, occasionally.
It's when you punch puppies. That piques my interest.
I didn't punch a puppy, though. I ran into it with a car. I mean, you can't even get that right. So.
It's an old lady and 2 puppies.
It was an old lady and 2 puppies.
I need to watch that episode.
So, then I head out, and fun fact, Wisconsin has an hour time difference from here.
Yeah.
So.
You actually gain an hour.
Yeah.
When you lose a comeback.
So, I left an hour earlier than I needed to.
So you could have gotten 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Ooh, big
Not
difference.
only did I leave an hour earlier than I needed to, it took an hour less to get there than I figured it would.
So you were 2 hours ahead of time?
So I'm 2 hours early for this guy's flight.
So what do? Go to the nearest Toys R Us and look at the toys?
No, because I had to pay for parking to get into the freaking airport. And I'm not gonna go and spend a shit ton on parking. So...
Because you want to go spend it on Mountain Dew. I get you. Priorities straight.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. So I've got 2 hours to burn before this guy's flight gets here. So I walk into the Green Bay Airport. There's nothing in the Green Bay Airport. They have 2 gates, a novelty gift shop where 50% of what they sell are Green Bay Packer cheese hats. Another novelty gift shop where 50% of what they sell is Green Bay Packer just cheese that you consume. Also sausage, but that's neither here nor there.
Where?
Never mind.
Oh.
And
Breaking what seal?
And a really shitty arcade.
I just cringed. Keep going.
Every airport has to have a really shitty arcade, right?
I've never been to an airport that has a shitty arcade, but yeah, let's keep going.
Well, I guess the Houghton or Marquette one doesn't have one. Well, the Green Bay one has one, and the one from my hometown has a shitty arcade. And there are...
What's a shitty arcade? I feel like that's a good way to spend 2 hours.
Okay, so there's maybe 5 things in this entire arcade.
Yeah, the race car, obviously.
Yep, there's the race car.
The shitty shooter.
There's the shitty deer shooter, yep, with a little orange shotgun. 2 pinball machines, one of which is broken down, the other which is rejecting my quarters, and the turn your cash into quarters machine.
That's a game?
No, but it's a cabinet kind of thing. So
race all day, bro.
The race car thing wasn't working either, man.
Shoot deer all day.
Yep. The only thing I had to do was the freaking deer shooter. So for an hour, I'm sitting there feeding my dollars into the changer.
Okay, whoa, hold on. You won't pay for parking twice, but you'll spend that amount of money in the deer arcade? Okay.
I was tired and desperate for entertainment, man.
You could have gone to Toys R Us and play with the toys for free.
I have to pay another $40 for parking.
Oh, you didn't say $40.
Like, people in Wisconsin are crazy, man. Random tangent, people in Wisconsin drive like shit.
I think people in Michigan drive like shit, too.
They do. People in Wisconsin also drive like shit.
Yeah, I believe it.
So.
All them cheeseheads. Thank you, Wisconsin listeners.
Yeah. All, like, one of them? Maybe. So, eventually, I'm doing, I do the deer shooter for like an hour, and I run out of cash.
Shit.
And I've got, like, the rest of the hour to spend,
You didn't bring a book or magazine with you in your car? You don't have any of those materials?
Nope.
I have 3 catalogs of, like, hunting and fishing stuff, or cheap stuff, to look through if I ever get in that predicament.
Nope, I don't. Because I thought I had planned well, and I arrived 2 hours too early.
And you have a brick phone, so it doesn't do anything cool.
Correct. This was before I discovered that there was a Tetris demo on my brick phone, too. When my phone was only at 2 bars, and I wanted to, keep it active, because I had to drive back from Green Bay.
Oh, because you didn't bring a charger with you, because you were that well planned. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. So...
You really, the thing that was on your priority list was Mountain Dew, and that's it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, my thought was, okay,
Spoken like a true redneck.
What do I need to not die?
Deer Hunt Arcade and Mountain Dew.
What do I need to... Oh, you're going to love the whole redneck thing that comes next.
Well, you fit into Wisconsin, but go ahead, keep going.
So, I'm sitting here playing the shooter for an hour in the arcade, and when I'm in an airport, guards typically are, pretty suspicious of me. For whatever reason.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I mean, I do. It happens everywhere.
Why?
Because I'm large and brooding. I don't know. They don't like the black beanie cap. So
guards were eyeing you.
Yeah, I'd be pretty hardcore. So, I ran out of cash, but I still got my debit card.
You sound like a guy with a gambling problem. Take my money!
So I go over to the novelty shop. Browse the shop for like a good 15 minutes.
Looking sketchy as
balls. It's awful.
Did you say sketchy or scratchy?
Sketchy.
Oh, okay.
It's awful, too, because due to the timing of the whole thing, I didn't really have time to shower, and the car was horribly hot, like, the entire ride down.
Oh, so you smelled bad.
So, I can't really blame the guards, because...
They thought you were homeless?
Yeah, they totally thought I was homeless. Yeah.
Oh, please continue. This is the best story ever. Why haven't you shared this on the Homeless CringeCast?
Because this is a story that I usually only break out
when you're drunk.
No.
Oh.
It's like the friend initiation story.
Okay.
So I'm like violating a secret oath by doing this. Also, I usually have the other guy here because his part of the story takes fucking forever too.
Oh, good.
But I can't tell his part of the story. And we all forget bits and pieces.
Why can't you tell his part of the story?
Because I wasn't at his grandmother's funeral.
Oh, but I thought you would have heard it by now, and you would have memorized it.
I have enough trouble keeping track of everything that happened.
Keep going. So you're smelling bad with your debit card in the gift shop.
But I have my debit card in the gift shop, and I'm looking around, and I'm tired enough that those cheese hats are looking pretty cool. I spend a good 10 minutes probably trying to see, do I want the firefighter cheese hat?
They have different kinds?
Yeah, not just the cheese wedge. There are like legitimate hat types. Do I want the baseball cap cheese hat, or the firefighter cheese hat, or the top hat cheese hat?
There's a top hat cheese hat?
There's
a classy cheese hat?
There is a classy, trashy cheese hat. Yep.
Okay, so this is your dilemma.
So this is my dilemma. And I choose not to buy a cheese hat.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I regret it to this day that I don't have a
you
cheese
need to go back someday, but you have to do the same exact variables. You need to smell bad, have no money, and not have enough sleep. And 2 hours to spend.
Yep. And 24-pack of Mountain Dew. So I go over the magazines. There's nothing good on the magazines.
Not even GQ?
Nope. No GQ.
I like GQ.
And I'm looking through the magazines. I'm like, you know what I'll get? I'll get guns and ammo.
Oh, dude, so you smell bad. You've been spending an hour at the gun thing. You're looking at cheese heads with no money but a debit card. And then you go buy a magazine in an airport.
Go buy guns and ammo.
What year was this, by the way? Was this post 9/11?
This was 2 years ago.
So yes, okay.
So yeah. And
I'm surprised you did not get tackled yet. Keep going.
The cashier for the gift shop is like this kind 80-year-old woman.
Aw. Did you hit her with her car?
No.
Oh. Because that's your type.
To hit with a car, yes. Buy my guns and ammo.
Okay.
I sit down and read Guns and Ammo for about half an hour. It's like...
See, if you planned ahead, you already had this magazine in your car.
But if I planned ahead, I would have had a different magazine. Because it turns out, as much as it's fun to, look at people shoot guns, it's not so much fun reading about people shooting guns.
To each their own. I love shooting magazines. Keep going.
That's fine. I mean...
I know, to each their own.
The reviews of the guns mean nothing to me.
Right. If you're not familiar with them, then it means nothing.
Yeah, I'm not a hunter,
okay.
so...
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
So I'm like, well, this was a waste of money. Throw it to the side. Look at my watch. Well, this guy should be getting in any time, so I'm going to go and check which gate he's on. And so I go, and I'm checking out the incoming flights. I'm looking at him. I'm like, he sent me the flight number, so I knew when he would be coming in. I'm looking at him, and I don't see his flight number. So I text him, like, so I don't see your flight number over here. Do you know what's going on? Is there anything going on over there? And I don't hear back from him at all.
Yeah, because you don't have your phone on. Plus, number one, you don't have service when you're in the air.
Yeah.
And then you have to have your phone off till you guys are till you're way up. But yeah.
So I'm figuring, I'm sleep deprived and whatever, and I can't think straight. So I sit looking at the incoming flights for like 20 minutes, and none of them are there. And I'm like, whatever, it's probably nothing. So I go back to my car, and I get out my Guns and Ammo magazine, and I'm like, this is so boring. And I get a text from the guy. He's like, so my flight was delayed again, because they got us on the plane, and we sat there for an hour, and then they told us the engine wasn't working.
At least they were on the ground when they found out.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want that to be over the PA, so yeah.
We're all gonna die.
How are you guys doing today? I hope you're enjoying your flight, because it's about to end horrifically.
Abruptly? This is your captain speaking for the last time. So, his new flight is going to get in at 7 o'clock at night.
Which is how far from...
7 hours.
So you have to wait another 7 hours.
He texts me back, like, I don't even know if this flight is going to come in because everything's gone wrong. So you can leave the airport if you want to. And I'm just like, no, I did not just spend 6 hours waiting at an airport, and combination of waiting at an airport and driving here to just be like, nope, fuck you. So, I go and I buy some lunch. Cheese curds at the Wisconsin airport are the
I bet those were fantastic.
No.
Cheese was bad in Wisconsin?
Yes, the cheese curds at the Wisconsin airport are lackluster and cost $8 for a thing.
Of course.
It was the worst.
Cheese.
So, I ate lunch there. Then, I go back to my car, and I'm like, so, I got some time. Let's try and take a nap. So I fold the chairs down on my car.
It's so hard to sleep in the car.
Yeah. Fold the chairs down on my car, so I have, like, the whole back to, like, slop down on. I try to go to sleep. I lock the doors.
Yeah. You don't want any creepers
Yeah.
coming in. I mean, they can still watch you sleep.
They
But...
can still watch me. So...
It's always comforting next time you go take a nap.
Yeah. So, I figured somebody was going to see me. So, and I was using, like, my hoodie as a blanket or whatever. So now I look especially homeless because I'm sitting in the back of the...
Or dangerous. Either one.
And I can't freaking get to sleep. At all. And I sat there for like an hour trying to get to sleep. And it was the worst. Eventually I decided to give up. I have to try and find something else to do. Break out my phone. My phone has 1 bar of battery left. It's about to die. So I text the guy, my phone is about to die, so I'm going to turn it off until it's closer to the time you're supposed to be here. So now I'm running blind on what's actually going to happen because my phone's off.
Haven't you been this whole time?
Even more so.
Yeah, true enough.
I go back into the airport. I'm just kind of lazing around, checking things out. Going like take a piss. They have a boot shiner in the men's restroom at the Wisconsin airport.
Did it tip them?
It's a machine.
Oh, it's a machine.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
Like $1.
Dude, fantastic. Yo, you were.
I didn't have any cash because I spent it all shooting things, like heroin.
Oh wow. Okay.
No, not actually.
I didn't know they had that in Wisconsin.
Surprisingly surprisingly few drug dealers at the Wisconsin airport.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because they thought I was a drug dealer, and it'd probably be bad to,
That's true
come
enough.
in on my turf.
Yeah.
So, go back to the cheese hat store. I'm looking at the cheese hats again. Really want that freaking cheese hat.
Right.
Decide against the cheese hat.
Mm.
I look sketch enough. So I go back to the magazines. Looking through the magazines. They restocked since last time I was there.
Oh,
so there were
really?
a couple.
Was there a new issue of Guns and Ammo?
There wasn't a new issue of Guns and Ammo. I'm looking, like, I see, like, a Maxim magazine.
Okay, that'll take your time up.
Hiding in the back. And I'm like, should I get it? Am I that desperate?
Oh, yeah.
Sit there for about 10 more minutes looking at that. And the old lady cashier comes up to me and she's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I'm just, trying to pick out something to read." It's like, I can't get the Maxim magazine with the old grandma lady cashier there.
Oh, yes, you can.
I can't do that.
Oh, yes, you can.
I can't. She takes pity upon me. I can't be a filthy pervert hobo to her.
She already thinks that. I mean, so just might as well.
I mean, she already thinks I'm a filthy hobo.
Yeah, might as well just add pervert to the list. Are you ever going to see this old lady again?
No.
Exactly. Grab the Maxim and go spend a good 5 hours looking at cars.
Cars, yeah. Those trunks.
All about that bass. In the car.
So, I eventually decide to not get the Maxim magazine. It's like the most grueling 10 minutes of my life.
I can understand that. I can feel.
Nope, just grab a Scientific American.
What's wrong with you? Keep going.
I bought Scientific American. And
Was there a time? The time would have been a good one to go spend 7 hours on. You have to look up all those words.
There might have been a time. But how could I look up the words? My phone's dying.
That's true enough. You could ask the old lady what they mean.
Just sit there in the shop, sitting on the counter.
What does this word mean? Oh yeah, that's gonna really make you look good.
Yeah.
What is this word? That's dog. Oh. What's that?
I think I ate one of those once.
Oh, all right. After I killed it.
Yeah.
The car.
Yep.
And the old lady.
Just like you.
Took me a second. I caught on.
So, go back to my car, and despite the fact that I just bought a new magazine, decide to look at the Guns and Ammo again.
Because nobody wants to read Scientific American.
Nobody wants to read Scientific American. And I bought, like, a random novel at the bookstore, too. So I start trying to read that. And
Nice romance model.
No, it was a novel that was based off of something that Michael Crichton was writing.
Oh, okay.
But then he died, so somebody else had written it for him.
Oh, gosh.
So it wasn't that good.
Right.
So I'm like, at this point in time, it's approaching dinner. I've managed to fill some space somehow. So I go back to the restaurant, and I order, like, a hot dog or something. And the guy, he rings up my order. It's like $4 or something. I'm like, oh, that's less expensive than I thought it would be, because like the cheese curds were $8. He's like, yeah, well, you get the employee discount.
Okay.
I'm like, why do I get the employee discount? He's like, well, I've seen you here all day. Aren't you like a taxi driver here or something?
Absolutely, yes, I am. Did you correct him?
I did correct him.
Did you take the employee discount off?
No.
Oh, well, that's
he
good
was
enough.
a bro.
That's good enough.
So, yeah. Apparently they have some filthy hobo taxi drivers at the Green Bay Airport.
That smell bad.
That smell bad. So I sit down in the restaurant, and they got CNN on the TV, but there's no sound, and there's no subtitles for some reason. So I'm zoning out looking at, the CNN.
And there's nobody else in this airport, is there? It's like empty, isn't it, besides workers?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There were like 2 people that had just gotten off some flight that were in there. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah. And they charge $40 for parking, so.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm learning a lot about whatever Obama was doing at the time.
You're learning how to lip sync?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Lip read?
Nope. I got nothing out of it. Ticker tape was like, Republicans are angry at Obama, and I'm like, what's new with that?
Oh, this is news. Oh, that's
This is news. No, it's not. Even 2 years ago, it wasn't news. So, I guess there's an hour of time that passes that I don't remember anything that happened.
You were zoning out that long? You zoned out for an hour?
Not in the restaurant.
Oh.
But
I would have watched CNN.
Maybe.
I would have gone and asked that guy, hey, is it cool if I turn the TV
maybe
up?
I did. I don't know. So, it's eventually getting time for,
Him to come.
So, I go out into the car, grab my Scientific American and a Mountain Dew, and I look at the frickin' things to see if his flight is coming in. It says his flight is coming in.
Go good.
So, holy shit. And I go up to the gate, break open my Scientific American. Guards are looking at me real dirty.
Really?
Yeah.
Dirtier than when you're reading Guns and Ammo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because you're by the gate?
Because now I'm by the gate, and I've been looking at the thing periodically, being like, is it happening? Is it happening? Check my watch. Is it happening? I'd have my phone turned on now. So I'm checking every 5 minutes.
Oh, gosh, look at sketchy as fuck.
Oh, yeah. I was sketchy as fuck. I'm sweating because it's fucking 800 degrees in the goddamn airport. So
in the middle of winter.
It wasn't.
Oh, this is during.
This was
nice.
like a month after school started. So
great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's much better than I thought you had to do it during the winter.
Oh, the weather is still. I'm not even done with half the story.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time.
Yeah. So, guards are looking at me real dirty. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have bought Scientific American.
I feel like that's the one that allow you to get Maxim. Should have been Maxim. The guys would understand.
Yeah, the Maxim.
This guy's bro. Okay,
They
cool.
get the Maxim.
This guy likes cars.
They'd probably get the guns and ammo because we're in freaking Wisconsin.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Keep going.
But, Scientific American.
That's where we draw the line.
I was probably making a bomb or something,
Ooh. Gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't cross my mind, but okay.
Yeah, there's a creepy looking guy and he likes science. That's what we want in the airport. I get a text. The guy's just like, my friend who I'm picking up. I am on the plane. So it's like, he's on the plane.
Good.
That means it'll probably work. I run out of my Scientific American. I turn back and start reading through it again. I am surprised that the guards did not approach me about something during this, because they're freaking staring at me the entire time.
That'd be awkward.
Oh, it was really awkward. Sometimes I'd look up from my magazine, I'd catch their eyes, and they'd look away real quick.
That'd be weird. I'd be uncomfortable.
I was very uncomfortable. Eventually, I get another text. The plane has landed.
Oh, good.
So
you hear music. Oh.
Pretty much. As he walked through the gate, it was just angelic chorus. So, he calls his mom, because, he's actually back somewhere where he's probably going to get to school, which is better than the Chicago airport.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, my mom wants to thank you.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah, so I spent 15 minutes listening about how I'm such a great person, and I'm just like, I just want to get the hell out of here. So, eventually, we do get out of the airport. I have to turn my parking thing in and pay $40 for parking. So, we're on the road.
Yeah, fantastic.
For about the first 30 minutes of being on the road, everything is fine. And then evening starts to fall. It's like, yeah, no big deal. I drive during the night all the time. Then the fog starts to roll in.
Oh, no.
It's like, okay, I've dealt with fog. Then it starts to rain. It's like, okay, I've dealt with rain. Then it starts to rain harder. And it's like, well, I'm a little bit uncomfortable now. Then it starts to rain harder. And it's like, holy shit, I'm not okay with this. But I just keep on fucking driving. I cannot see shit. My windshield wipers are on max and they are not helping at all. And every once in a while, there'll be a flash of light, and everything is in extreme clarity. I am tired enough that I'm like, am I hallucinating this? Is this really happening? So I spent about an hour on the road, thinking that, I might be hallucinating and we're all gonna die. Eventually I turned to the guy and I'm like, so do you see those random flashes of light? Because
you just ask him that.
I've been seeing them for about an hour and I don't know if they're real.
I bet he was uncomfortable at that point.
No, he turns back and he's like, I've been having the same problem and I'm glad you see him too. So we're driving along the road.
Scared shitless.
The only way to see anything is when the lightning keeps striking.
But you don't hear thunder.
No. That's why it was fucking insane. That's why I thought it wasn't real. So
was there a lot of traffic?
None. And
Hey, that's good. Then you can't hit a car.
That's true. You can, however, hit a deer. And in this low visibility, you know how at the night they have those little, flash things at the side of the road so you can see where the side of the road is? When you're tired enough and when it's raining hard enough, every one of those looks like a freaking deer's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So, speed limit's 65 and I'm going 30. And it still feels like we're gonna die. We get to, this little hamlet where we have to turn, and I can't see the frickin' turns. I almost run over a road sign because I didn't know how tight the turn was. My GPS... Oh, both of our phones are dead by this time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. My GPS doesn't know where the fuck we're going.
Did you take a wrong turn somewhere?
No. Not according to my GPS.
But I got you there just fine, but it was like, I don't know. I'm just as you are, Chris.
I don't know. We're just as lost. It's about 11 o'clock. We've been driving around for about 3 hours. We should have been there by now. We get to Iron Mountain. Weather clears up totally.
Oh, great.
So we're like, we're pretty hungry now. Let's go to McDonald's. Yeah. Iron Mountain has the coolest McDonald's ever, by the way, because they have a freaking GameCube.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah. We didn't use the GameCube.
No.
So, we go and we get our order. He pays for dinner because I'm pretty much out of money.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, I can understand that. You've been buying magazines and shooting deer. That's very frivolous with your money.
Yeah. And... we sit down to eat, and it's much like we are sat now with I'm facing towards the front window of the McDonald's, so he's facing towards the counter. And this old guy, wearing a powder blue jacket, a black beanie, and a huge white beard and sunglasses, rides a bicycle up to the McDonald's, and I'm totally shot. I don't know what the fuck's going on, so I just point and pretty much yell, ZZ Top Hobo! And my friend jerks around, not there.
What?
Not there. It's just dude, are you seeing shit? I'm like, no, I swear to God, he was fucking there. So, for the rest of an uncomfortable 30 minutes at McDonald's, we're sitting there eating. He thinks I legitimately am hallucinating now. So we get up to leave. The freaking guy rides his bicycle away from the McDonald's. And I'm like, there! Do you see it? Do you see it? And my friend turns around, sees it, turns back, and he's just like, holy shit! CC Taco Bell! So, we were rejuvenated at Iron Mountain, get in the car, start driving. Rain starts right back up exactly as hard as it had been. So, we're going along.
And just to point out, the UP is dark.
Yeah.
It is dark. Like, your headlights might do good at illuminating the road, but that's it. You can't see anything else. There's no ambient light anywhere. You have,
for most of it, straight trees on either side of the road.
Right. So it's a little, it's anything could pop out.
It can get pretty creepy at night.
Yeah, but I'm always afraid of like a deer just running across or something like that. It is dark.
And like,
there's nobody up. There's nobody driving.
There's nobody's driving, and if you get caught in a storm, whether it's rain or snow or just even heavy fog, you can't see anything.
No, yeah, I'm very familiar with that. I had to drive downstate starting at 10 o'clock one night.
Yeah, and it sounds like, just this past couple days, it sounds like you were dealing with that kind of shit too.
Yeah.
So, we keep going, and pretty much nothing eventful happens on the way back. We have a conversation about, what happens if we hit a moose?
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, what's going to happen if we hit a moose and it totals my car? In the middle of the rain, in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, UP. It was determined that we just keep on going. Fuck the moose.
Take the moose with you.
Yeah, just have the moose stay stapled to, like, my grill.
Or I just put it on your roof, because you had a nice SUV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just throw it on top of that roof.
And, we might be hurt. So, if we come along a hospital, we can turn into the hospital. It's like, yeah, we can turn in the hospital. But we'll just leave the moose at the hospital.
That's payment.
We'll just keep on driving through the hospital. Yeah. So, we get to, that we're coming from the south, and we get to a part where you're familiar with the highway that goes through Marquette, up around north.
Yeah.
We get to, like, the intersection there. So we know it's close. Like, if you have the UP geared, it's like a gun shape. Like, we're like here.
Right.
Things start looking familiar again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like,
you're almost to Marquette.
Holy
this is great.
shit, we're almost there. And I just gunned the fucking car. Luckily, for like 3 or so minutes, we're going like 70 in this.
Oh, you're so excited.
And I'm just like, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna fucking get there. We hit like a fucking bump in the road or something. And it doesn't do anything super hardcore. It's just like, it just nudges us a little bit. I'm so twitchy. It's like, holy shit, slam on the brakes. Not gonna do that again. At this point, we're just so burnt out and everything has gone so wrong. It's like, what's probably going to happen? Bomb's probably going to hit Houghton right when we get there. We're just going to fucking die. In fact...
A bomb did hit Houghton.
Yes, it did actually. And that's why we're all ghouls now.
Right.
And we had a lengthy conversation about how a bomb was going to hit Houghton. And we get in range of WMTU, which is how we know we're close. It was early enough in the morning that it was on one of the slots that wasn't taken. So it was on automation. And all they had on automation was creepy-ass prog rock.
I don't know what that is.
Progressive rock?
I never heard of it.
It's like experimental stuff.
All right.
So you got like weird, trippy guitars with, like, creepy keyboards in the background. Ew. One song, like, half the song was just radio static with whispering. It's like...
We play that here?
It was on automation, so they were just going through whatever was in the catalog.
Why is that in the catalog?
I don't know.
That's weird.
It was like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point in time.
Wait, whoa! It's taking you 6 hours?
Like I said, it takes you 3 hours to get there, and I was driving half the speed limit.
That's true. Wait, it's more than 6 hours.
It took a long ass time.
Math sucks.
It took a long ass time.
It's like 8 hours.
It took us significantly longer than.
But then you also stopped for McDonald's too.
Yeah. So, we're getting close. But I'm about to run out of gas. So,
good luck finding a gas station open in the UP past 10:30.
Yeah. So, like, every gas station I see, closed. We get to a mobile one that has their light on. Pull up to it in the pouring rain.
God, please.
Nope. Closed. But our friend's got to take a piss. And he got out of the car to go take a piss before he knew it was closed. So he's running around the building in the pouring rain, trying to see if there's a door he can get into to take a piss. And he can't. So he just pisses on the building in the pouring rain.
This is what you get for being closed.
Yeah, pretty much. So we get out of the gas station. And
do pumps work after?
Nope.
Okay.
They had shut the pumps down.
You checked?
Yeah. It's like, okay, so, that's cool.
Like, is this light on? Is the light on? Is it that bad? Like the gas light? Is it getting that low that the gas light's on?
No, I'm at like an eighth of a tank.
Okay.
But when you're in the
it's still uncomfortable.
When you're in the middle of nowhere, you pee.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be higher.
Right.
So, we were up to one of those intersections where you got to turn left or right or whatever.
Okay.
And it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you go up to the intersection. It's like, probably don't even need to stop. I do, but it's like we're gonna be able to go right through. Check my sides. Light just rampaging towards us. There's a frickin' semi-truck going like 80 in this weather, just barreling down the highway.
Oh my gosh, you guys would have died.
Yeah. No. It's like, welp, glad we're not them. We eventually turn. They keep going. We're about half an hour away from Houghton. I did find a gas station at some point in time. Half an hour away from Houghton. The weather clears. The fog clears. It is like we are into the promised land. I had to park in lot 23, which for those of you who are not familiar...
I'm not familiar with it myself, so...
You know the giant hill up with the SDC?
Yeah.
It's one of the lots near there.
Okay.
And we both lived in Wadsworth, so, it's a trek down.
Yeah.
So we get to the parking lot. There's a fucking parking space, and it was great. We get out. We are both just totally burnt out.
Oh yeah, that's
everything.
Driving in those conditions exhausts you.
And just after everything he'd been through, he was burnt out. After spending the entire day at the fucking airport and driving beforehand, I was burnt out. We get out of the car, and I'm like looking around because it's like forest that surrounds a lot.
Correct.
I'm looking around, and I'm just like, it's probably bad that the thought that I just had now was that there's probably cameras in the trees, and they're watching us. I'm like looking in the tree line to see if ZZ Top Hobo followed us to Hope. My friend agreed. That was pretty bad. But he was pretty much just pumped to be back. So we get into the dorm hall. And we had 3 or 4 friends who had stayed up waiting for us. Because my friend was like, he had a girlfriend who was like totally like clingy as fuck. And like she pretty much almost had a panic attack and died when we didn't show up before dinner like we were supposed to. So there were three people who were staying up just to keep her from like jumping off a building or whatever.
Oh my God.
And we get there and I don't even remember the conversation that happened. But however it ended, we all end up falling asleep in, like, one of the frickin' lounges in the lodge. And when I woke up the next morning, I'm looking around. Somebody stole my Mountain Dew.
How many were left?
About half.
Oh, man.
I was pretty pissed. So, yeah. That was that.
That was your story?
That was my story.
That was a good story.
You've been officially initiated, or whatever.
I have been initiated. Initiation cast.
Yep.
We should call it CringeCast.
Okay.
Well, since I did the intro, you want to do the outro?
Yeah, sure. That was probably like 40 minutes, wasn't it?
It was a good length of time.
It was.
I enjoyed the story.
It takes a while for that story.
It's a good story.
It takes longer than both of us are telling.
Oh my gosh.
So, you've been listening to what was supposed to be the Mach7 podcast. I'm Chris, real star of this podcast. Travis.
IceT.
That's us signing off.
So stick tuned next week for our next episode, which may or may not have Andrew. Bye.
We should get a list.
You're supposed to say bye.
It's like saying bye.
I know, but the thing is, like, I say bye and then you say it a little higher.
Bye.
No, like, not louder, like higher voice, like hi.
Bye.
Yeah, there we go. Mach7 out.
ZZ Taco Bell.
Well, this is awkward.